की बात हो रही है, एक तरफ जो शब्द पहले पढ़े मैंने वो हो रही है, और दूसरी तरफ सरकार ईडी के विषय में एकदम दूसरी दिशा में खींच रही है कि हम एक बार एक्सटेंशन देंगे, दूसरी बार देंगे, 5 बार दे सकते हैं एक एक वर्ष के लिए। और एक एक वर्ष के लिए क्यों? जिससे कि आप आश्रित हो मेरे ऊपर, जिससे कि आपकी करियर, आपकी महत्वाकांक्षाएं, आपका एम्बिशन सब मेरे ऊपर निर्भर हो और मैं जो कहूं वो आप मेरी करें। तो मैं समझता हूं कि ये एक निर्णय है जो बहुत ज्यादा व्यापक प्रभाव रखता है, सही प्रभाव रखता है, और इसको लेटर और स्पिरिट में तुरंत सरकार को सिर्फ कार्यान्वित नहीं करना चाहिए, लेकिन तुरंत ईडी के विषय में लागू करना चाहिए। Friends, I'll be very brief. The Supreme Court judgment strikes, smacks, and slams the hegemonic, the control freak approach of this government towards institutions which are supposed to be venerated and which are essential for our government and our polity, our system to function impartially. This is extremely important because it relates to that policeman who is entrusted and charged with the responsibility of conducting fair, free, balanced, level playing field elections in the country. And incidentally, as you know, decades ago, not now, fair, free, non-uneven, level playing field elections has been held to be specifically a part of the basic structure of the Constitution. As you know, the basic structure can't be amended even by a constitutional amendment. Now, if that is so, the policeman entrusted and charged with this constitutional responsibility must necessarily be completely independent and run a system which is level and not uneven. The court has said today an election commission that does not guarantee rule of law is against democracy. In its wide spectrum of powers, if exercised illegally or unconstitutionally, it has an effect on the outcomes of political parties. They have added that it needs someone who cannot be bulldozed. The second facet, friends, is that this is not as if the government can make a virtue out of necessity today and claim credit for anything. This government opposed tooth and nail what has happened today by filing counter affidavits, by arguing through senior law officers to the exact contrary. One example of what they argued is, and I quote, they told the court that the mechanism of appointment by the government is so robust that no one can go rogue except for stray incidents. These stray incidents cannot be a ground for the court to interfere, unquote. Namely, you, the court, should allow the pre-existing system to go on and not change it. Third, there are incidents which are easily forgotten because institutional memory in our country is short, but have to be reminded to you. In the 2019 elections, I was part of many such incidents. Some 25 important major complaints were filed, and we all went in delegations to the Election Commission. In more than 15, some kind of action was taken, and promptly taken, because you know that the window of elections is about 6 to 8 weeks. Beyond that, it is irrelevant. Either you stopped the offending action or you said that there is no offense, the action can go on as per the Model Code of Conduct. But in all the 4 or 5 cases involving the Prime Minister or the Home Minister, and I happen to argue each one of them, the beauty is that there was no decision either way, consuming 90% of those 6 or 8 weeks. We then had to do the absurd situation we had to face of going to the Supreme Court and ultimately getting only an order that thou shalt decide, Mr. EC, and decide immediately. Needless to add, there was some wishy-washy decision, and the decision by the time it came was virtually irrelevant because the election process was almost over. The persons concerned could not be barred, could not be acted upon. Number 3.
In fact, the Congress there addressing the media on the Supreme Court's decision to quash the present system of appointment of the Election Commission members.